Hi, it's Dave here. First of all, I hope you can hear me above the sound of a helicopter just over there. And there's some sheep baaing as well, some sheep bleating. There's plenty of sheep bleating at the moment though, if we're being honest, aren't there? Anyway, I hope the audio quality is coming through okay. I've got a clip mic that I'm going to be starting to use very soon. Also, in addition to that, it's very, very, very muddy along the canal today, so there's a decent chance I'm going to fall over, maybe even into the canal, just to add a bit of extra entertainment factor to this video. Anyway, that sound of the helicopters doing my head in here, but right, thought I'd do this video because I'm feeling a bit rubbish today, and in the spirit of authenticity, because as you know, I believe we need much more authenticity in this world. In the spirit of authenticity, it's important that when I'm feeling crap, that I still contribute in some way, even if that is just complaining, because it might mirror what you're thinking. I don't know. Anyway, maybe you can help me today. I certainly think you'll be able to relate to what I'm saying, though, many of you. I think that it was after watching that press conference, really, I'd allowed myself to become a little optimistic. Now, one thing that I've learned in life, and I've talked about this before, is naive optimism is a dangerous thing and it's unhelpful. Optimism just for optimism's sake, sorry, you probably see me slipping all over the place here. Optimism, merely for optimism's sake, isn't a good thing. And I always try to remain grounded, particularly right now. But I did allow myself to become optimistic when I was hearing about this roadmap out of lockdown. I thought, it sounds positive. It sounds more positive than I was envisaging, so I thought I'll watch it. But you know what, all you need to do is closely watch, listen. Actually watch and listen to the words, watch their faces, really pay attention. I mean, you can do this with anyone, but pay attention to politicians. They're telling you exactly what's going to happen. I remember going back to last April or whenever, when I first heard the phrase, the new normal. I knew then, our world that we've become used to was gone forever. I knew it was. I thought, well, why would they be saying the new normal? And people were optimistic and, you know, we're going to get through this and things are going to return to normal. And I was thinking, well, yeah, but what's that going to be? It's not going to be what we've just had. It's pretty clear now that we're being blackmailed by our governments, and in exchange for some return to normality, then we're being asked to do quite a lot, participate in a health tyranny, and that's what it is. And it was just like such a sense of deflation, really. And but it wasn't that, because I'm used to, you know, that's what happens every time, isn't it? Politicians, they just lie, they dangle a carrot. You know, if you do this, then you can have this. You know, that's a tried and tested psychological trickery. But the psychological trickery and the psychological warfare that is being waged on... Oh, hold on a minute. I'm just going to stop for 1 second because look at this. Now that is a bench. Now from mid-March, I can sit on this bench with a friend for a coffee. How about that? It's great, that, isn't it? Anyway, I can't even remember what I was saying. Pissed off. I am pissed off today. That's what I want to talk about, why I'm pissed off. Lying politicians. Yeah, that's right. I bet you what's going to happen now is people are going to start to get excited, optimistic, hopeful, and they'll think, oh, come the 21st of June, everything's going to go back to normal. And lo and behold, that is what I detect. And I'm thinking, well, why not right now? Why are people willing to enter into a contract with the government for their freedom? Why are we not free right now? And above all, why are people still hanging on? Lots of sound effects on today's videos. Helicopters, sheep, ducks, me slipping in the mud, all kinds going on. Why are people believing still when they've been told lie after lie after lie after lie? But of course, that's all part of the psychological trickery that I talk about. Promise people something. If they behave, if they do as they're told, blackmail. Yeah, here we are with people, the vast majority, willing to enter into that contract with their government, a contract for their freedom. And it's seeing people fall for the deception, the manipulation, the lies, the propaganda, over and over and over and over again. I did a video, you can check it out, it's called "The World is in Cognitive Dissonance." Cognitive dissonance is a very interesting concept. Go and have a look at the video I did. I did that video, I think last August, it was last summer, and to be honest with you, hardly anything's changed. Hardly anything. There's a few more people who've woken up, and a few of them have backed up their convictions with action. But broadly speaking, and this is the grim reality of where we are, not much has changed. And I don't think much is going to change now. People have planted their flagpole in the sand, or whatever the phrase is, you know what I mean. They've made clear now. People, the masses, have made clear that they're not prepared to stand for anything. They're either too stupid, too ignorant, too lazy, or too cowardly. And I was thinking before, you know, the two traits that I would say define most human beings, the human character, are two. Laziness is one, and I'm in that category. I'm a lazy person. I am, and it's something. I'm not as lazy as I was, but I still procrastinate. I still only scratch the surface of my potential. But most people are lazy. Most people, like water, like this canal here, will take the easiest route to wherever it's going. It's going to Leeds, by the way. It's the Leeds and Liverpool canal. Water will take the easiest route. It's lazy. So people are lazy. They'll do whatever's easiest. However, the second trait, definitely not me, cowardice. Most people are cowards. And I see this now. There's not actually that many people in this world who really stand for something, who would be by your side if you really needed them, and who have if you really needed them, yeah, and who have done the crucial work that needs to be done on introspection to provide them with the realization that a dysfunctional society is their fault. It's not the fault of the government. You get the leaders that you deserve. It's the fault of the society and the individuals in it. I'll be honest with you, I've like had it with people. This is how I'm feeling now. I've had it with people. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them dragging me down with their fear all the time. Fear is a terrible, terrible thing if you let it control you. We're all fearful. It's part of being human. Everybody has fears. But when a society degenerates to this extent, fear becomes a disease that is projected right across to affect everybody. A society that is driven primarily by fear is going to hell eventually. Terrible things are going to happen. And I'm sick to death of being dragged into people's psychosis and neurosis. I really am. It's draining me. It's so draining, especially when you can see so clearly what the fear is based on. Lies. And that's why I'm feeling pissed off today. And now, don't get me wrong, the responsibility ultimately is mine to work through how I'm feeling at the moment, which is really rubbish. I feel crap. I'm trying to crack a few jokes and stuff for you guys, but I'm not feeling good, I'll be honest with you, because why would I be feeling good when it's patently and blatantly obvious that all we have to look forward to is to live in a tyranny under the control of evil tyrants? Why would it be feeling good? It takes every ounce of effort to not feel angry every single day. It takes every ounce of effort to create something that's going to be valuable to other people, to the people who I want to help, who I want to connect with, the other ones like me who can see through it, who stand for something and are willing to give a shit about the future of our children. And I'll come to that, children. I don't have kids. Me and my girlfriend Sarah, we don't have kids. And actually, I think it gives you a bit of an advantage when you're in a situation like this, because it takes the emotion out of it. I can see clearly what's happening without maybe emotion possibly influencing my judgment. And I tell you what's happening. It's despicable beyond all comprehension. That's what's happening. And I know that there are many who have kids who are fighting for them, understand what's going on. But generally speaking, I look at parents and I think, I'm just struck dumb. I actually cannot believe their approach to this. I'm going to be doing a separate video, and people are saying to me, yeah, you don't know how to say, you're not a parent. Yeah, I'm not a parent. But I tell you what I have done. I've done the work on myself. I have some historical knowledge. I have some awareness of what a society needs and how individuals fit into it. And I know that it is every generation's duty to protect the rights of the next generation, who right now are powerless to do anything because they're too young to. So parents, that is your responsibility. But what do I see? I see jokes about when the pubs are going to open. Don't get me wrong, I love the pub. I've spent half my life in a pub. I'm sure I'll talk to you at some point about my experiences with alcohol. I love the pub. I want to go on holiday. Oh, that's right, yeah. I'm not going to be able to go on holiday now. That's right, yeah. Because I'm not willing to be fucking coerced into it by my government. I want to go on holiday. I want to go to the pub. But you know what's more important? It's more important that we actually acknowledge the fucking massive problem that we've got here. that no, we're not sleepwalking, we have slept-walked into an authoritarian dictatorship. We've had our democratic rights ripped away, our freedoms robbed from us, and only that many people have done anything about it. What does this say? It tells us a lot about human nature. It tells us as well that what if you do wake up and you are honest with yourself and you do challenge your beliefs, it's difficult every single day. Yeah, it's beautiful in a way. In many ways it is, especially when you connect with similar people. But it tells us that human beings are corrupt at their very core. They're corrupted by... There's a battle between good and evil that rages within every single one of us. I can see now, so clearly, how the Holocaust happened. I can see it. And you know the interesting thing? I've actually said it to a couple of people. I've said to them, if you were alive in 1930s and 1940s Germany, right, let's just talk about the Holocaust then, 1942 to 1945. You, statistically speaking, you would either have actively participated in the extermination of the Jews by mass murder, you would have known it was going on and been complicit in some way in the government machinery around it, state machinery, or you would have ignored it simply because it was easier. You know, you wouldn't have hidden Anne Frank, you wouldn't have hidden any Jews, you wouldn't have stood up to the Nazi party. But here's the thing, people genuinely think that if they were there, they would have. But the evidence is all around that they wouldn't. People are not even brave enough, they can't even find it within themselves to comment on a social media post that they agree with, for fear of being outed. Their views are outed for who they really are, what they really believe in. People can't even be brave enough to not wear a face mask. People are not brave. Generally speaking, people are not brave. And I can add a third characteristic, selfishness. The selfishness on display now, which is born out of... What's it born out of? I think people are so conditioned now to believe that all that matters in life is extreme comfort. Having money, being able to get the latest shiny bright object, to being able to tap into to entertainment whenever they want. They're so distracted, but they've become so accustomed to that lifestyle, convenience, that literally they've lost all ability, or they've never had it, to look A, within themselves, and B, at the world around them. So when something truly evil happens, they either can't see it, or they can't see it, but they're so vacuous and empty inside, they're not going to do anything about it. Which ultimately is a massive lack of self-respect. And we're a society that's suffering a massive problem with self-esteem issues. And I would say to anybody who doesn't think what's happening now is evil, I would say, what then is evil? Because if it isn't forced vaccination programs, health passports, old people being isolated in care homes, people dying in hospitals by themselves, people being denied cancer treatments, women giving birth by themselves, children being forced to wear face masks all day at school and getting cotton buds shoved up the nose twice a week, mental people in need of support for mental health not being able to access it. I would ask, what then is evil? If that's not, what is? But people don't want to answer that question, And I'll tell you why they don't want to answer that question. Because they're not comfortable with the fact that they have been complicit. And in not speaking out, you are complicit. They don't want to make the acknowledgement that the evil is stirring inside their own soul. Because in not saying anything, that's what's happening. So yeah, this is a bit of a, what is it? Bit of a diatribe on human beings, really. Healthy societies, ones built on connection, community and philosophy. Human beings can be brilliant. They can build, invent, develop, create altruistic, truly altruistic societies that protect vulnerable people, actually, that nurture children and that respect old people. Do you really think that we've got that right now? Ask yourself, and then answer that question honestly, without prejudice. So there we go. Been saying all of that. Yeah, I feel like crap, but there's only me who can change that. So experience tells me the feeling will pass. The feeling of not how I'm perceiving the situation, but the emotions that it's bringing out in me. And it comes back to responsibility. I now need to be responsible for how I respond and react to what I'm seeing. And I will do, no matter how shit I'm feeling. Now, I've gone through the process last summer. You know, the psychologically destructive process of when you realise what's going on and that you need to do something about it. I've gone through that. But I still have days where I feel like shit. But it's up to me to find it within myself, the tools, the resources and the self-awareness, really. So if you understand what I'm talking about, I know some of you will, and I know that you'll relate. It's important to just allow ourselves to feel how we're feeling, you know. Just allow it, just let it flow. No feeling lasts forever. This tyranny that we're about to enter into will last forever, I'm sorry to say. But even in a tyranny, you can sometimes feel good, so no feeling lasts forever. Anyway, if you like what I've had to say, please subscribe. I really appreciate everyone who contributes to my channel. I really do. Just take the time to give me a thumbs up if that's okay, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I guess I'll speak to you soon. All right, bye bye.